Hello everyone, I'm sitting here today in beautiful Bucerias, Mexico, just out of Puerto Vallarta. I'm sitting with Josh Kettner. He's the owner of Dream Body Clinic. And so I wanted him to do a little talk to you today about who would benefit from stem cells.
Just about everyone. It's kind of a large question there.
Yeah, it is.
Well, the main things we treat are autoimmune conditions. The stem cells interact really well with the immune system, and they can help reprogram it to protect the body instead of attack it. And then with joints, we do knee treatments are most common. That means we can fix cartilage, which is arthritis. We fix like ligaments, tendons, meniscus, a whole host of things. Good. Second most common is probably back treatments. Pretty much everybody ends up with either knee pain or back pain at some point in their life. So those are the most common. And then there are some like chronic degenerative issues that come up. You had lung kind of issues was your main thing. So we actually see a lot of patients with lung conditions. We see a lot of brain conditions. So pretty big field of things that we can help with.
So my next question is how? How does it work? What does it do?
Okay, so we got to first start with what a mesenchymal stem cell is. So a mesenchymal stem cell is a pericyte. A pericyte lives on your capillaries. So imagine my arm's like a capillary tube. They live here, look like little octopuses, right? And when you have an injury, like say you hurt like I hurt my tricep tendon on this arm 4 months back, 50% tear. Well, when you do that, the mesenchymal stem cells come off. So a pericyte becomes an MSC. It's just different names for the same thing. They go there and they act like the manager on the construction site. They don't become anything. Like it's a big misconception. In fact, the guy who named these wishes he could rename them. In the lab, they are stem cells. When we inject them into a human body, they don't differentiate. So they're not a stem cell. They're not just becoming whatever tissue you need. He wishes he could rename them or medicinal signaling cells, because they're sort of like the EMTs on the field. They're reviving, resuscitating people. In this case, they're leading the reconstruction of whatever tissue is damaged. Get rid of scar tissue, send in the right workers, fix things up the way that they should be. So with injuries, they will heal and they'll first get rid of the scar tissue. With like lung conditions, there's usually a lot of scar tissue, that's a big part of it. And then you have the immune system. So when they go through your system, especially in an IV, they interact with the immune system, and if it's not working properly, it's sort of like the software is bad. It's a way to look at it. It's like your computer has a virus. Well, the mesenchymal stem cells send out these things called cytokines that are signaling proteins. They interact with the immune cells, the B cells, the T cells, the killer cells, and it's like uploading antivirus software and fixing them. So now instead of attacking, in case of like MS, they're attacking the brain or spinal cord. Well, it tells them, hey, stop attacking. And usually those, effects last long term, which is a cool thing. So those are the main ways that it heals. There's a lot more to it, but I think that's kind of like
That's the tip of the iceberg.
the most simple understanding, yeah.
Okay. So one question that I think a lot of people are asking, because I would have in their mind, although it's way out of left field.
Yeah.
You deal with blood every day, you had to draw blood out of me and everything. Have you seen any difference in the blood of the people since the rollout of the jabs?
Actually, no.
You haven't seen any difference in it?
To be fair, like people who've been jabbed aren't really our customers.
This is true. When you're looking at proactive people.
We have had, actually recently we've had a few patients that are suffering from long COVID that, most of our patients, I would say 99% since we started 10 years ago, are people that already don't trust the system, don't believe it's healthcare, believe it's sick care, all of that. So we don't get a lot of people that took the jab. But recently we've had some because they're suffering side effects of like this long COVID type thing they describe, which is really, seems to be from the jab. But you don't see a lot in the blood work. But we look at cholesterol, we look at red and white blood cells, we look at hepatic profiles for heart, liver, kidneys, thyroid, hormones. We do a very in-depth blood analysis.
Yes, yeah.
But we're talking about the effects of COVID, the spike proteins, all of these things. I don't think directly it's affecting those normal kind of blood markers like that. So It depends. You're seeing more things with like heart conditions, with like lung conditions. That's what we've seen.
That was my next question. People who had the jabs and they got, heart problems and stuff. Are you having people come in specifically for heart problems? Maybe that you can see is from that, perhaps. And have you had any track record yet where it has helped with somebody? Let's say they got this myocarditis or something.
Yeah, unfortunately, no, we haven't. I know it would help with that, but we haven't really had anybody that's at that point.
Oh, okay.
Probably the closest we've seen was a girl that we know locally. Is like 26, really nice, cute girl. She like does my wife's like hair and makeup for like events, and she's 26. She's like a part-time professional dancer. I mean, in good shape, and she got the Pfizer jab and immediately was paralyzed from the waist down. And she was slowly getting movement back. They sent her to like a physical rehab specialist, but it was taking a long time. And so she told my wife, and we're like, hey, you know what, we'll treat you. We want to see if this will help. We did what's called an intrathecal administration, where we went into the spinal fluid, because that can deal directly with the central nervous system, go direct to the brain, no blood-brain barrier. And stem cells work amazing for nerve damage. So she was back walking, everything perfect within weeks.
Wow.
And it really did help. So we have seen some side effects, but again, most of the people that like did these things aren't really, our patients.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing that story, but I want to ask you, for people outside of Mexico, and they're under the thumb of Big Pharma like I was, how did they get started on looking into a treatment here? You can give your contact information and everything on that.
Yeah, I mean, just going to the website. Like, I built the website. I try to be as transparent as possible. It's not just like, hey, what we say. It's also got studies to back everything up. I mean, I don't think people realize there's over 100,000 studies on mesenchymal stem cells on Google Scholar, over 30,000 on PubMed. I mean, it's well documented how safe it is. So then go to our website at www.dreambody.clinic. Take a look around, prices, info are all there, or they can call us toll free at 833-445-9089, and we're happy to take questions. We don't charge for consultations, anything. Like, we're here to help.
Yeah, and from my own personal experience, when I first started this, I went on his website, and Josh has so many videos up on YouTube for your benefit to do some learning of your own before you walk into his clinic or make that first call perhaps. And he's got so much information out there. Thank you very much for that, Josh. I appreciate it, and appreciate you taking the time to let me have this little interview with you. I can share with my friends and family back home. Much appreciated.
And Mexico's super safe. Don't believe the hype on that. That's a big thing too, is people think, oh, it's Mexico, it's not safe, there's no regulation. There's a ton of regulation, probably even more than the US or Canada. Just, it doesn't always get followed, but that's why we have to go above and beyond those kind of standards. I'm American, I'm from Seattle originally, so I know what people expect. We have to go above and beyond, and we do. And as far as safety, like the cartel stuff, like, it's not what people think.
Yeah, no.
They hurt each other, they don't hurt civilians or regular population, and Puerto Vallarta is just this special place. There's no drug business, anything, so it's like, and it's probably one of the safest places in the world. I mean, they launder a lot of money here, so they got to keep it safe too.
Yeah, within minutes of here, they have this most amazing taco places and the like. It's just bloody amazing, the food here. It's so fresh.
Yeah.
It is beyond the beyond. So
no GMOs in Mexico. They got rid of that a long time ago.
There's something to think about. Thank you.